So, a lot of space investors or early space investors are actually maybe quite relaxed because they have seen this kind of movements up and down already. Let me just adjust the camera. Here we go. But how bad the current space turn downwards is. I mean, day before yesterday, we did minus 14% just on the news that Richard Branson sold about 10% of its stock, okay? But to understand the overall situation and why the people and investors reacted so crazy has, in my personal opinion, two additional moves, okay? The one reason is because the overall stock in the technical is down below the 200 moving average, okay? And I have studied this now a lot. I have, looked through Tesla old charts. I looked through all the other growth stocks old charts. I spent like 10 hours of researching and back testing what actually happened when the stock crossed through the 50 and or through the 200 moving average. And at all the times, I saw a similar pattern, okay? So once the stock crossed this 200 moving average, you see that the stock is actually, going into a bearish territory, which means more selling by investors, traders, and algorithms. Algorithms is not to underestimate. It's a big part, meanwhile, on Wall Street to push stocks up and down, okay? So this is the first technical reason, and I described it many times also in my stream, so make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you will be informed every single time I post a video or a live stream. And also follow me on Instagram because I'm posting there every single day as well, okay? In fact, there's a second reason that I want to dive into also, but first I want to talk about the sales itself. I mean, Richard Branson sold a couple of shares. Yes, he did it in 2020, and the stock actually just went down 5%, okay? So you can see here the effect on the stock or the investors, let's say, current mood is that they are selling much more Virgin Galactic shares as they would maybe in the same situation in 2020. I mean, a lot of things happen, and exactly this is where I need to talk about now with you about, because this will be now the second part of the video. So if you haven't already, make sure to smash to get to the second part of the video. Yeah, just smash the like button. Thank you. So let's go. The second reason why Virgin Galactic is in a kind of downturn is quite, let's say, obvious, but still it need to be, as a reminder every now and then for you out there, okay? Let's talk about what happened, okay? So last year, 2020, was for the whole stock market, a crazy year, okay? We have seen in February like all-time highs, and then we dropped really steep down into the market, and then we had the fastest recovery ever, and we saw all-time highs and all-time highs. Now the schedule for Virgin Galactic was actually to fly this test flight that we are waiting for in December. Then it was a little bit delayed because of lockdowns and all of those things. Then we had the test flight, which was not so great because the ignition of the engine of the rocket didn't quite work as expected, and they had to abort it and fly back to the spaceport. Now, just to remind you guys, the engine is one of the most important part of a spaceship, guys, okay? Elon Musk said that, he believes that designing an engine, just as a pure fact here, guys, okay? So because people say, oh, I need to wait so long before something happens with Virgin Galactic. And they always start, space companies always start with the engine to produce and develop an engine, okay? So the engine usually take about 3 years if Elon Musk does it, and Jeff Bezos with his company Blue Origin said even it takes 6 to 7 years to develop the engine for a spaceship. Okay, so Just to let you know, okay? That's why things are getting a little bit longer in the space industry that you might think, what the hell they are doing there, okay? That's why Virgin Galactic needed also many years in the first place to design all the main things about the spaceship itself, okay? But let's talk about the upcoming things, what came then. Then we had the planned February flight, okay? And what a triumph for the stock. The stock went even up to $60, guys, with the overall market going just crazy. And also, we are so much anticipating the next test flight. So obviously we had all-time highs. And then since then we lost because the price of Virgin Galactic stock actually accepted already the fact that we will fly in February. This didn't happen. So this was first shaved. Okay. Then, the flight didn't happen in a couple of weeks like, we might have anticipated. But on the earnings, we got the bad news that the flight will be delayed to May, which another, cut again value of the stock, okay? Then we had a couple of other things. I mean, stock market correction, right? I mean, the 10-year bond and everything just gave pressure specifically on those growth stocks that have all the future revenue projected in their price. Then, we had another thing, like in my personal opinion, it also was a little bit of a bummer when Shamas sold a couple of personal shares, right? This also was not great. And then we had the spaceship reveal where some people maybe expected a little bit more. Also maybe a little bit disappointed, but not really countable. So let's move on. Then we had Blue Origin, right? The competition with a very successful flight, and chapeau to them and the team that, everything went so smooth. They shoot up the rocket, they decapped the capsule, and the capsule came back down and the rocket landed. Very, very, very nice. Very, very nice. And I think this is great for the space industry, okay? But this obviously showed that, okay, maybe Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin is faster and, maybe also closer to the operations than Virgin Galactic is, okay? So this is another, point where Virgin Galactic lost a little bit of, momentum. And then obviously the neck breaker recently was the sell of those shares by Richard Branson, $150 million to secure some funds to inject it into his Virgin Atlantic Airlines to make them survive, because obviously they are hit so hard during this health crisis. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So you can see that, the news couldn't be more bad for Virgin Galactic. And now comes the turning point that we will discuss now in the summary. So if you truly believe in the company, then now is the time to buy more. Yes, those are the bad days for Virgin Galactic, without any doubt, okay? However, you have to agree that we have still a much bigger standing than we had a couple of months ago when we first purchased Virgin Galactic at $17, $18, right? We are still way above those numbers, okay? So I personally would love to have the chance to buy Virgin Galactic at 15 again or at 12, I think this can only happen, and I hope for the overall investor group and the mentality, I think that wouldn't be so nice if they reschedule the flight again, okay? But then we would see maybe those $17, $15 marks. But on the other side, I obviously want that the company moves forward and show the world that space flight is real and space tourism will be soon be the future. So let's talk about what can happen next. I think that first, the current pressure is very, very hard on Virgin Galactic, but those are the opportunities where you can buy cheaper, okay? If you maybe buy at 30 or 40, now is the chance to lower your cost basis because you are just having the chance on more discount for the stock. On the other side, you can make sure to really understand the business, okay? You really are in the need of making more research of the business itself to make sure to evaluate your high conviction. I still have high conviction because all of these things that we talked about not really change the fundamentals of the company. And also think about all the big companies, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, all of these companies always had those in the early days, guys, okay? Virgin Galactic is still in the early days, those setbacks, okay? If it was, scandals inside the company, if it was burning down Tesla cars, right? The battery exploded, or Amazon, scandals with the workforce, or, Apple, had a very, very bad product portfolio and nothing really sells, and they fired Steve Jobs. So, every company goes through crisis, and I don't even think we are in a crisis right now. So I think now it's a great time to buy, because as soon as the stock goes over the 200 moving average, the first reason that we talked about, then the stock should get some momentum. And then plus with the news of the test flight, we could see very, very soon and very, very easy a $30, $40, $50 stock sooner than you can say Virgin Galactic.